Name say cheese. No, just playing. That's the icebreaker for me. Like everybody's like, "What?" Okay, so what brings you in today?
So my hair overall needs some TLC. So I had locks.
Mm-hmm.
I combed them out.
Okay. How long ago?
Ooh,
Like recently?
yes,
Okay.
like 6 weeks ago.
Okay.
And then right after I combed my locks out, I got braids in my hair.
Oh, okay.
So that's what I don't know what this is about.
What's going on?
Because when I was combing it out, I mean, I did lose hair, so I don't know what my ends look like. I don't know what what it looks like at all.
Yeah. I saw you booked for curl definition
Mm-hmm.
and curly cut,
Mm-hmm.
but because you're coming out of locks,
Mm-hmm.
I want to move you away from that and do a straight cut.
Okay.
Because I don't know what's going on with the hair.
Okay.
The truth of the matter is that even if you do a curly cut, for me, curly cuts you can do them when your hair it's at its healthiest. Like
Mm-hmm.
I do curly cuts,
Mm-hmm.
but right now you see my hairs and you
Mm-hmm.
know what you saw me doing, like. So I literally straighten my hair to cut it.
Okay.
Right, and see what's going on with my hair, like
Okay.
to see if there's any split ends going up the hair shaft, et cetera, et cetera.
Okay.
So I cannot diagnose your hair unless it's really in it, and I could if it's in its curly state, but to a certain extent.
Okay.
And you get to see exactly what's going on with your hair. Okay. Especially it's been so long. Mm-hmm. I don't want to cut too much that you don't think, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. At least if you see it, you're able to be like, okay, go ahead. Okay. Because you know what's going on. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And so, so with your locks, how often were you shampooing?
Pretty often, like maybe every 2 weeks.
Okay. How many times?
What do you mean? How many times?
In the sitting, like say, like you were shampooing today. Mm-hmm. How many times would you shampoo?
Maybe twice, maybe 3 times. It just depends on how long I've let my hair go. Okay. And how dirty I feel like it is.
Okay. Were you clarifying?
I don't know what that is, so probably not.
So clarifying is like just stripping the hair, mm-hmm. like removing everything that's going on. The shampoo will say clarifier or detox or cleansing, because I find that some, shampoos say that. And then you have a treatment shampoo, mm-hmm. will say moisturizing, reparative for color treated hair, or volumizer, mm-hmm. or something along that line. There's a purpose for it. For dandruff, mm-hmm. there's a purpose for that treatment shampoo. So it's a treatment rather than just cleansing.
That's a good question. I don't think I
okay,
don't know
and that's exactly okay, right? Now that you're here, obviously, like it's my job to educate you, mm-hmm. right? And so, always, you want to clarify first. Okay. Every shampoo, not just once a month. Or when you feel you want to remove everything that's going on with your hair. Like, you have particles in the air, you have smells, mm-hmm. you have sweat and all the other products that we put on top of our hair to kind of, mm-hmm. all that stuff over time, just accumulates, and you want to have a fresh start, mm-hmm. right? Because when you're shampooing is when you're treating your hair. Right? And the number one hydrant in the world is water, right? So your hair is more susceptible to moisture, mm-hmm. when it's in its wet state, mm-hmm. right? So you want to make sure that when you're shampooing, you're not rushing that part, right? And mm-hmm. you're clarifying. Then a treatment shampoo, you have some color. So you can mm-hmm. do protein, you can benefit from protein. Also, and moisturizing, mostly moisturizing, because our hair loves moisture. Curly hair loves moisture, right? So you want to build like that. Mm-hmm. And then a hair mask or deep conditioner. I always recommend, if you're trying to retain length and for the health of your hair, it's always good to use it. So you strip, then build back in.
Gotcha.
And then because there's nothing laying on top of the hair cuticle, your hair can actually absorb it. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. So it's like showering and then lotion. Right? Yeah. So what are your hair goals, like as far as moving forward?
Honestly, I just want to get my hair back to a healthy state. Because
okay.
I feel like I did a number on it when I combed down my locks.
I see. Okay.
Like that was pretty hard. And then when I got the braids in, because I that was not what was supposed to happen. But
okay, what kind of braids? Oh, knotless.
mm-hmm.
Okay.
When I put that in, I was like, oh, babe. I was like, my hair is going to hate me.
How long did you have the knotless in?
6 weeks.
Okay. Did you shampoo while you had your knotless? Tisk, tisk, tisk. So one thing, I'm not a fan of like those protective styles, right? Because you see how you went 6 weeks without shampooing, cleansing your scalp. Your scalp is skin, right? So it's so important to shampoo and treat your hair, right? Because although your hair is in a protective style, that doesn't necessarily mean that your scalp doesn't need to be cleansed, right? Just like you're not going to put your skin in a protective style during the winter months because your skin gets drier. You know what I mean? So you want to always still cleanse your body and then moisturize, you know? And for me, depending on the texture, not all textures do, not textures, but you know how, well, the fabric of the hair, every fabric is different, right? And so I find that the finer, like the strand it doesn't do well with the hair, like adding that Kanekalon hair, the synthetic hair to your hair, right? Because I feel like it breaks the hair off from my experience with finer hair textures. People who have fuller hair, it's okay. It does okay. You know what I mean? And their hair flourishes. Again, everybody's different. And I can't tell you that because once I take a look at your hair, we have so many other things that are going on with your hair. Like as far as like you had your locks, right? And then you went into braids. And so like all those variables and stuff like that, you know, play a role. So the goal is to get you a fresh start today, right? And get rid of all the split ends, to do a cut more than you know, if needed. You're open for that, right?
Yeah, definitely, because I know that these ends look a mess.
Yeah. So I'm guessing you're, you know, open for a cut, and you know, we could take it from there and we can work together. You ready?
Yeah.
All right, let me get you started.